So now we're going to talk about the saliva challenge. Many people will say, I'm eating well, but I don't feel well. You're doing everything right. You're eating lots of veggies. You're eating fruits. You have the grains and the protein, the strong proteins down to a minimum, and you're doing the right things, but you still ache. You're stiff. You tire easily, or maybe you're short of breath going up the stairs, and you've had everything checked out, and it comes back normal, and you go, what the heck is going on with me? I'm doing everything right, but I don't feel good. The thing with that is usually there's an emotional override. Okay. So what do I mean by an emotional override? An emotional override is when our body is still responding to an overly strong emotion or a multitude of chronic lesser emotions that add up over time, and it starts to eat away at our good lifestyle. I'm not talking about being mentally ill or crazy or something like that, even though that would produce the same result. It's that these chronic stresses are running our lives, and it's devastating our health. This is where checking our saliva comes in. We all have stresses in our lives. In fact, if you're alive, you have stress. The difference is, are these regular stresses that we're living with and remaining healthy, or are we actually in a case of distress? And by taking our salivary pH, we can actually determine whether or not we're doing detriment to our bodies. By testing our saliva pH, we can see if our distress or emotional override is actually eating away at our body. Remember, it's our alkalinity that keeps us healthy. It's our alkalinity that actually keeps us young. The pH of saliva goes up and down, all along on the scale. If we were to eat an orange, let's say we take a piece of an orange and we eat it, and then test our saliva pH, it would be around 5.5. And if we were to brush our teeth with baking soda toothpaste, the saliva, we test it again, it would go right into the blue, it would go right to 8.0. It's going to vary according to what we put in our mouth. And very much like the urine test, you need to stress the body in order to see really what the reality is, because pH on its own doesn't tell you anything, but how you got there tells you everything. Now, normal saliva pH should be 6.8. That's just slightly acidic. We're going to be doing a test in 2 stages. First, we're going to say that it's important that you did not have anything to eat or drink, you didn't smoke a cigarette or chew on gum or brush your teeth within the last 2 hours or so. So that way the body has gotten to a resting state. Your saliva system has gotten to a resting state. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to peel off 1 inch of our pH paper, and what we're going to do is create a pool of saliva behind our lower front teeth. All right, we're going to pool the saliva. It's not such a pretty thing to do on camera, but we're going to show you anyway. This is how it's done. And you pull the saliva. Now, it's important when you're doing this not to hit your tongue with the pH paper, and don't pull the paper through your lips. You just want to dunk into the saliva behind your front teeth. So I'm going to do that right now. Drum roll, please. And you take the paper out, and then once again you match it up with the You match it up with the scale on the canister, and we have here, it looks to be 6.2. Okay, so the only thing you need to do now is write that down, and you're done. All right, that's step 1. It's very simple. Remember, once again, you're just going to dunk the paper behind, when you pull the saliva behind your front lower teeth, you dunk it in, don't touch the tongue or the lips, and then you measure and write it down. The second step is we're going to use a teaspoon of lemon juice. All right, or in the office, if you haven't this done in the office by me, we use something called juicy berry. But anyway, what we're going to do is take this teaspoon of lemon juice, and we're going to put it in our mouth, and we're going to just swish it around. No chewing action at all. We're just going to swish it around. Or if you're in the office, I'll be giving you this little vitamin C type pill, and you'll have that in your mouth, and you'll swish it around. Once again, not chewing it. And once a lot of saliva has built up from the lemon juice, you're going to swallow 4 times. Or once you've built up a lot of saliva in the office, we're going to take the pill out of your mouth, and then you're going to swallow 4 times. And what happens, we swallow 4 times, and it allows that change in concentration of pH to be swallowed, and then the new stores are coming out. And then what we're going to do is, after having done that, once again, we're going to take that 1-inch strip of pH paper, create another pool of saliva behind our front lower teeth, and we're going to dunk it in. I didn't test it this time because I didn't use the lemon juice. So once again, what we're doing is we're going to take the lemon juice, put it in our mouth, swish it around, not chew it, and then swallow it, and then swallow 4 times, and then reproduce more saliva, dunk it in again, and we're going to take our reading. And then we're going to talk about what those readings mean. Now, when we're talking about the changes, taking the saliva challenge, it's almost the opposite of the readings on the urinary challenge. The best case scenario in the salivary challenge would be going from green to blue. That means that your body actually is in the normal range, 6.8, is close to that, and that when you stress your body, it actually goes into the blue section more toward 8, which shows that your body has ample alkaline reserves so that you can really take on some pretty strong stresses. And it means that your body has plenty of alkaline reserve in there, so your diet's been good, and you've probably been handling your stress rather well for a long period of time. So another scenario we could have is where the yellow would go to the green. That shows that there's some emotion playing with you. Maybe you have some anxiety or an anger or a grief that you're trying to deal with. It's taxing you a bit, but it's not really destroying your alkaline reserve. So it hasn't made you sick yet. So what you need to do is keep up your diet with the alkalinity, and really get in check with your emotions. And you may want to check out on the 6 Essentials for Life, the What We Think part, and that may help you to deal with that. Next, I would like to talk about when there's no change. Let's say you started out blue, and you use the lemon juice, and your saliva, your pH is still blue. That generally means that the diet is good, and the person is more than likely a worrier. And you see this a lot in vegetarians. And when we talk about going from green to green, usually the diet is so-so, and that person is still dealing with the residue of strong emotions like anger or fear that are occurring in their life. These things haven't quite become chronic yet, but they are definitely going in that way. So what this person needs to do is really deal with the stress, once again, and keep up the alkaline part of the diet. Now, yellow to yellow, this person's usually sick, which means that they're tired, maybe even exhausted, have trouble sleeping, and yet if they do sleep, they still wake up tired. This person really needs to increase the alkaline part of their diet, mostly vegetables, and should wait until they start dealing with the fruits. But they really need to start facing off with the stresses in their life. For emotions that are stuck, we have an actual physical modality that we use in the office that can minimize and eliminate the emotional memory overrides, that stuckness that we have. Some people refer to it as mental gunk. It's called, not the gunk, but the process that we use is called bioenergetic synchronization techniques. So we use the word best to describe that. Just call the office and we'll get you some information. We can get you set up and you can eliminate some of this yourself. Thank you.